The next thing you have to know about Midjourney is that it kind of sucks at understanding the English language, the relationship between words, and basic grammar. It isn't completely useless in that regard, but compared to something like ChatGPT, where you can provide really long, complex sentences or full paragraphs, even an essay, and it's able to respond well, Midjourney is not at all at that same level. It often struggles to understand the English language like a person would, or even like ChatGPT would. So don't count on it to understand the sentence structure or even the basic relationship between words. And we've actually kind of already seen this when we talked about things like if you write a prompt that says birthday party without cake, or with no cake, or don't include cake, it will often just include cake. It doesn't understand the relationship between don't, include, and cake. And that's another topic we'll revisit when we talk about negative prompting in just a moment. So you don't have to ignore grammar entirely. I wrote ignore grammar. It's more don't rely on it understanding English and grammar and the relationship between words, and don't be surprised if it just doesn't understand what you're asking for. And understand is not really the right term, of course, right? It's just a model here. But if it gives you results that you're not expecting based on your input, sometimes you need to simplify the language. And you'll often see prompts on the showcase on midjourney.com or on Reddit that look something like this. A long series of concepts and descriptors, right? Incredibly powerful anime woman. For whatever reason, people love generating, well, I shouldn't say whatever reason, I think we know the reason. Certain people love generating images of anime women. If you go in the showcase and you sort by top or rising, they tend to be all anime women portraits. But that aside, this is not really a sentence, right? It's just a bunch of descriptors created by these people, certain artists, I guess. Movie poster style, box office hit, masterpiece of storytelling, main character center focus, monsters and mech creatures locked in combat, nuclear explosions. Here's another example. Dramatic photo of a blue viper coiled and ready to strike. Flash, fast shutter, detailed eyes, intricate scales. By Annie Leibovitz. Photorealism, bokeh blur, vivid color. This is not really a sentence. This works well. And here's one more example. Photography by Mark Davis in the style of double exposure, Swiss realism, shiny eyes, monochrome landscapes, strong facial expression, mysterious jungle, photographic montage. I didn't write these prompts. These are just taken from existing showcase images that I thought were cool looking. And they work. They gave us, I can show them in a moment. Or I'll show what happens when I run them at least. We get decent results. But it's not a sentence, really. It doesn't follow traditional English grammar. Another thing that you might have noticed is that there's a lot of commas in those prompts. That's a choice that people make. It's not something that Midjourney necessarily recommends. The docs don't talk about it. The commas don't actually mean anything to the Midjourney bot, at least according to Midjourney and their documentation. There's no official recognized meaning, but they're used to separate out individual concepts and pieces of a prompt, generally to make it easier for us humans to look at the prompt. Instead of just having all of these separated by spaces, which still works, by the way, it's just easier to understand the different components of the prompt when you use commas. Some people use periods or dashes, but commas seem to be the most common by far. Another thing you'll see that we'll cover later on is the double colon, and that has a different meaning. It actually means something. Anyway, let me demonstrate some of these. And the first thing that I'll do is show you an example. When I say that it doesn't really understand the English language very well, here's a very simple prompt. I asked orange tabby cat sitting inside a cardboard box that is perched on a bookshelf. So I want it to be a cat in a box on a bookshelf. Instead, it's just getting cat perched on a bookshelf, basically. I don't see a box, really. There's no cardboard box here. It's just a cat on a bookshelf. When I instead just broke it up into a couple different concepts, and I used commas in this case, but I also just slimmed down the English language. I used fewer prepositions. It's orange tabby cat sitting in cardboard box, comma, on bookshelf. Simpler language. I didn't say perched on a bookshelf. It gave me slightly better results where I'm getting a cat in the box and also a bookshelf. It doesn't happen to be on the bookshelf, but the bookshelf is in the background. Here's a few more examples of the way that a lot of people write prompts the syntax I already showed you that is basically just a bunch of different concepts and terms separated by commas. So this says, by Akira Toriyama, Arthur Rock, I don't know these artists, fantasy, cute, anthropomorphic frog, knight, kids manga, Chrono Trigger style, cute details, anime, cute fantasy, kawaii, contrasting colors, pretty colors, dramatic lighting. Sometimes people go over the top and kind of repeat themselves, but the point here is that it's not really a description of the exact frog, knight, whatever this is. It doesn't say holding a sword in its hand, standing on stone with a red cape and armor and, green skin and white underbelly and all these different pieces. You can sometimes get away with that, but it often gets tripped up on certain details, and it tends to work better if you give it a bunch of concepts and ideas rather than